day is it, guys?
Hump day!
Oh shit, I didn't even realize it was Wednesday.
Day! Happy Hump Day, guys. Welcome into the PHNX Sun Devil Show, brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe, even leave a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Anthony.
Yeah, you are.
Joined, as always, on Hump Day by Shawn Shane Diefenbach.
Yeah, I am.
Gentlemen, happy Hump Day.
It's both, Joe. Is this heaven or PHNX Sun Devils?
Oh my
it's
God,
both.
Joe, that might be the greatest comment.
We're the first Devils to get to heaven.
Who is?
We are.
Are we?
Well, I mean, I guess
That's such a deep
I guess
question.
the Devil was there at one point.
Yeah, and angels. Yeah, because they're fallen.
Well, that's like
angels.
Lucifer's a fallen angel.
Yeah, we're getting really into.
Well, no,
welcome to
curious.
PHNX
I want to know what happened to
Christianity.
Charles'
Welcome to-
theology.
Welcome to the PHNX Sun Devil Show.
You learn this.
where we get biblical.
Are we getting biblical?
We get theological.
Let's get biblical with it.
That's my favorite. Down like when people say down bad, I like saying down biblically or down down ferociously.
Yeah.
Or yeah. Biblically
Welcome into Genesis.
This is the beginning.
This is
We are the
beginning.
Alpha and the Omega. We are the beginning and the end.
That was a great cartoon movie. Is Alpha and Omega, right?
Is that
The wolf movie? The wolf like the animated wolf
Are you
movie.
a wolf guy? You're like a wolf girl?
What?
You got wear wolves on your t-shirts, and you ever see that one?
I
Was like,
had a wolf T-shirt at one point.
yeah,
I
wolf
loved
t-shirt.
it.
the least shot
Yeah,
thing of
no,
all
of
time.
Like
course.
the
It's
animal?
my style. Like,
But also yours
you've
is.
never seen that?
I don't
You've
wanna-
never seen like wolf T-shirts? Like
No.
Like
I don't
know
want
what
to
that
say
means.
go to Walmart. I don't want
Yeah.
to say yours is like ironic, but you wear people wear wolf shirts because they're like, oh, this is cool.
yeah, no, it's ironic.
Yeah,
for sure.
I guess it's ironic, but like, yeah,
What's ironic about a wolf?
The shirts are just not
Oh, okay.
good looking
They're
shirts.
not cool
Have
looking,
you ever
but
seen
it's funny.
Oh, I was planning on getting a wolf on part of my sleeve.
Yeah,
That's
that could
cool.
go hard. Yeah, wolves themselves are not weird.
He's not going to get along with them though.
I feel like
Well,
they might vibe.
I think they'll vibe.
Tigers and wolves.
Tigers
What I
and
was going to
wolves.
say is, you've never seen the video where the guy's like, in every way but physically, I am a wolf.
But what does that mean?
I mean, it means that he thinks he's a wolf, except
A
for
wolf?
a wolf.
A wolf.
A wolf.
Woo.
What are we doing?
I don't know. Let's talk about ASU football for a second. Yeah? Just 1 second, though.
Okay, we're done.
They've got Stanford this week. So it should be an interesting game.
Can I say it for the first time
You can.
this week?
Go ahead. I imagine it will. What's the over-under on the amount of times he says fuck the tree? This show.
This show,
Yeah.
11.
Fuck the Stanford tree. Fuck the Stanford tree. Fuck the Stanford tree.
That's 2 right there.
That's 3. I said it 3
3.
times.
Wow. I'm bad at math.
Fuck the Stanford tree.
There we go.
It's the worst mascot in college sports. I hate it. I
In
hate
college
it.
sports?
I'm bringing my axe. Chop it down. It sucks.
Wow.
Fuck the Stanford tree.
Yeah, the over's looking beautiful.
Yeah, but
right
this
now.
is like an Anthony Davis over.
Yeah, this is the first half. I was gonna go heavy in the first half. We'll see how much.
We'll see where we get. Okay. Well, let's talk about
PHNX
Stanford.
Sun Devils is the best podcast in the NBA.
Let's talk about the Stanford roster a little bit. It's a team that's not great by any means. I was prepping the show and I was talking to Shawn.
What do you mean they're not great? They just beat a great team.
You're gonna make me say it. Huh?
We had this
Notre
conversation.
Dame is not great, guys.
Woo!
They're not great
How
right
much
now.
stock can you put into a Notre Dame
You
win?
can't. This year, you can't put any.
Yeah, I think I'm there with you.
Next year, give me a call though. Next year,
Give
we'll
you
see
a
where
call, yeah.
we'll see where we're at. Okay.
Marcus Freeman, get Anthony Totri back in South Bend.
Hey man, all I'm saying is
No,
last
don't get him
2
back.
years,
Well, if they want to win
they were a
games.
top 10 team when I was there.
Can't have him.
I leave
Oh, yeah.
and they start fumbling the bag.
I don't want him to go back, but I'm
Mark, you
saying,
can't have him, Marcus
Are you
Freeman.
guys
I'll
sending me
fight
back
you.
to
no, I
South
don't want you to leave.
I'll
Oh,
fight
okay.
Marcus Freeman for Toast.
Saul's coming in here hot. Oh,
Just
my-
been traded.
You're welcome.
I thought you.
You don't have to cover Notre Dame.
Thank you.
I thought you were
Well,
going to tell him that he was
hold on a
traded.
second. Hold on a second. But we got to cover ASU.
I'd much rather cover this year. I'd much rather cover ASU than Notre Dame.
Yeah,
I'd be
absolutely.
freezing my
There's
ass off to watch a
intrigue
team
here.
get
That's
smacked
true.
by Stanford.
Plus,
Can you imagine that?
Plus, without Luke Herringody, there is no basketball program.
Is Notre Dame coming to the Pac-12? They play a lot of Pac-12 schools this year. Like 3, right? Because they
Well,
played Cal
they play
already.
USC every year. They play Stanford every year.
Josh
I
Hunt-
didn't know the Stanford thing.
Josh Hunt saying, imagine your mascot being a DIY preschool Christmas tree.
That's literally what it looks
Well,
like.
the Stanford
Actually, that's
game,
insulting to
and this is
preschoolers.
ASU, not Notre Dame, but the Stanford game last year was huge for Notre Dame because that was like their last regular season game of the season. Like they were, I believe that the only loss to that point was Cincinnati, and then less than 24 hours or 48 hours after the Stanford win is when Brian Kelly was announced to be the head coach
Go
at LSU.
Tigers.
So Stanford holds a special place in my heart
Welcome
because
to
it
the
caused
PHNX Fighting
the
Irish.
most, or I guess it was the game before the most drastic.
I will
week of my
say,
life.
these T-shirts go hard. A Fighting Irish version of these T-shirts would probably
would
go
go crazy.
Would probably go stupid.
Oh my god!
Put him up.
Put them up. See?
Put 'em up, see?
There we go.
Put
Same
'em up,
time.
see?
Absolute same time. Okay. Well, we're not talking about the Fighting Irish. Let's talk about
we
the
have
Stanford
been.
Cardinal for a second. Okay.
Also,
There we go.
Cardinal, come on.
It's a color. Stop it. Get some help.
Get some help.
Love that commercial.
Okay.
Stop it.
The best player
Get
on
some
this
help.
team might be their kicker. He hasn't missed a field goal all
the best player
season
on
long.
ASU is also the kicker. So
That's true. That's true. He hasn't missed field goal. He has missed a single extra point.
Baby
Which-
Gostkowski.
No, not Baby Gostkowski. Not at all. I
We
don't
got
see
Baby
this guy
Vince here.
playing in the NFL for as long as Gostkowski did. But in terms of the
Didn't see
offense,
Gostkowski
Are
playing. in the
you
NFL.
are you a kicking scout?
Yeah, I mean, do you
100%.
know?
Are you kidding me? I'm the same size as all the kickers in the NFL.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
No.
I may be a little bigger, honestly.
Yeah. They're
I mean,
more
do you
frail.
remember Sebastian Janikowski? That man was a unit.
Dude, that dude had a dump truck.
He had a dump
Janikowski
front.
was a dump front.
He was just a fat
He had
man.
a front truck.
Yeah. He had a he was driving an electric vehicle that had trunks in the front and back.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it was beefed up.
He
He had the 6-wheel double XL wide.
he shopped at the big and tall section.
You know those why do people never mind.
No. Say it.
That I hate trucks that look like Shrek with like the really big
Yes.
windows. Stupid.
they were like with
Trucks that
the
look like
double tires,
truck
like
guy,
the
if I'm being
six wheelers.
honest.
Yeah,
If you're not living in the countryside hauling hay and you live in
I like trucks.
Metro
Hauling hay.
Phoenix,
I want a truck.
what are
So
we
I want
doing?
a truck one day for the sole purpose of
transporting stuff.
I don't want a truck. I want more like an SUV
Perfect.
because a truck you gotta people expect you to help them move.
Mm.
But I just want a car that I know if I get in an accident, it's gonna win the fight.
Oh, it's a fight when you get in an accident?
I mean, you know what I mean.
I want a truck specifically for when I'm like 35 years old, maybe have a kid, and we're like going on vacation or some shit. We pack everything
Yeah.
in the back
That's
of
why I
the
want,
truck
like, an
with the
Escalade.
little what are those called? The I'm totally blanking. On the, like the ropes and shit. Yeah, it's loose. I
bungee
close
cords.
it, tap the back of the truck twice, be like, that's not going anywhere. That's the
So
only
that's it,
reason
yeah.
I want the
Okay.
truck.
I want a
Before
nice
the
Escalade.
last part, I was like, you could do all of that in SUV, but not have to worry about things flying out.
No, I just
But
want
I
to
really
give
appreciate that.
give it a nice 2-tap,
Yeah.
be like, that's not going anywhere.
Two tapping Tony, Mr. Toe Tree.
Oh,
Tapping
God.
toe tree.
Two
Okay.
tapping Toe Tree.
Let's talk about 2-tap and Tanner McKee. Okay, quarterback for Stanford, a guy who was definitely the linchpin
Three tapping.
of this team. Like at the start of the season, he was the make or break piece. Okay,
Because field goals are 3 points. Oh, you're talking quarterback now.
I'm
We're not
talking Tanner
kicker
McKee,
anymore.
guy. I'm
Yeah.
not talking about the kicker anymore. I'm talking about the quarterback. 1,500
Six tapping.
plus passing yards on the season. Not much more than that. 64.6% completion percentage. 10 tutties, 5 interceptions. He is the epitome of average right now in the Pac-12.
Which is not what they
mid.
were expecting from him.
Mid.
No.
Which is tough for that Stanford team. But it is what it is, I guess. I don't feel bad for him.
You don't feel bad for him?
Stanford? No.
No. Tanner McKee.
Oh, yeah, I guess. He seems like he might be a good guy. I don't know. But I mean, such is
What do you
life.
think is stopping him from being in the same conversation as the Michael Penix Juniors and those guys? Because at the start of the season, there was a lot to be made of him. They thought he was going to be that guy.
Yeah, but Michael Penix Jr. This is not his first time being like a Heisman level quarterback. I just think he's better. Really comes down to it. I don't know. I can't sit here and pretend that I know like the Stanford team was a team that I care very much about. Like I wasn't expecting them to be very like a big player in this
Competent.
conference. But I mean that Stanford team's just not very good. I don't think he's really put in a position to succeed. Like it's not like he's got crazy weapons on that team.
Why though did people expect this from Tanner McKee?
I think just because of
experience.
well, not only that, but just if you
Experience
look at
doing
him,
what?
if you look
doing
at
what
him,
he's doing this year. Last year, he 15 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
Yeah,
Like,
I just think it was in a conference where almost every team had a new quarterback. I think
well, I think people
Oh.
look at him and they think Andrew Luck.
He was
right?
supposed to be a good
size-wise,
quarterback.
He's 6'6", 230. Like from the eye test, this guy looks like he is going to be a great quarterback. He's got good arm strength. However, his decision making is average, and he goes through his reads rather slow. It feels like, but that's not just a knock on McKee. That's college football quarterbacks like in general. I
Yeah,
feel like
like-
they have a tough time going through the reads.
I mean, he was the number 3 pro style quarterback in the country, number 5 ranked quarterback or number 5 ranked player in Colorado. He's a 38 national best ranked player, or whatever. So like that's why I think when you get guys that are highly recruited, like people
At that
always
size too.
Yeah, people always just kind of expect them to be good at some point, and if they're not good, it's like, well, there's always that like, oh, this year he'll figure it out.
Like I think if Trenton Bourguet was McKee's size, I think Bourguet would be a top 5 quarterback in this conference.
Got recruited by Auburn and Alabama. I mean, I guess that means something.
So he was Paul Tyson before Paul Tyson?
Or Auburn and Florida, excuse me, not Alabama.
Okay.
But then, yeah, otherwise it's Pac-12 schools, it looks like.
Yeah. Well, he's not having...
Notre Dame. He had an offer from Notre Dame. And Tennessee and USC and Alabama.
Yeah, so he was Texas. A big-time recruit.
Yeah, like this was a legit player. And I think, he got an offer from ASU. Fun fact. I think that's why people still expect something from him. It's just eventually he's gonna figure it out, right? No.
Yeah. So Joe brings up a good point talking about the tight end Urosek. Last year, I remember that game. My God, 6 catches.